Dave.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Over Coffee, our gaming talk show where we talk about games or just about anything else on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the morning at 6:30. Come join us every week. I'm here
Monday,
with my
Wednesday, and
co-host.
Friday.
Yes, I'm here with my co-hosts, Rich, John, and Doug. And we all have different shows that we do during the week. So the Long Island Tabletop Streaming Network is lit with content.
Lit.
Lit.
We should get like sound effects, and I could just keep playing them like in between words.
Yeah.
20 minutes of sound effects, 10 minutes of actual show. It'd be awesome.
There you go.
That's pretty much what's going to happen if we give you that power. You're going to be like a little kid.
You don't have
like,
to give me anything. I have the Stream Deck already, and I still want to learn how to use it.
Here's like here. Have you ever seen the Jersey Shore? You'll just be like one of those New Jersey Shore DJs, like wow, 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 every time. Like
weenie,
right.
weenie and the butt, weenie and the butt.
So, what have you guys played any games? Rich has banned me from talking about Call of Cthulhu, so I can't tell you I played last night.
No. I thought I banned you from that other game that the
Twilight 2000.
Yeah.
All right, that's Thursday night. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to I have a coffee related question. Does anybody here drink a particular blend of coffee?
Negative.
Or company?
Yeah, I drink a particular brand. It's called None.
None.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brand of coffee is called tea.
John,
Really?
John, you're a jerk.
So, Rich, are you and I the only coffee drinkers here?
Maybe. I don't understand. It doesn't explain. I understand now some of John's problems because he doesn't drink coffee, and I don't understand. And it doesn't explain some weirdness around Doug. So I'm gonna have to dig into that a little deeper and see what kind of tea he's actually drinking.
Oh, so right now, actually, I'm drinking pre-workout. So it's like 160 milligrams of caffeine to the face.
Okay, so all right, so he's just drinking super caffeinated tea.
Yeah, well, that's what I usually drink in the morning before I work out, and then midday I'll have like an English breakfast or just like a regular black tea. Like Bigelow makes a really good black tea with like tangerine in it. It's
actually
so good.
Bigelow is a very good tea, but if you want a really gourmet tea, we have I think it's called Serendipity on Long Island.
Yeah, so the girlfriend loves tea, so she grabs like random teas. She grabs open bag teas. We do a whole bunch of like steeping and stuff like that with our teas, but I personally just enjoy a good like Bigelow, right? It's just easy to get. That would be my go-to.
I got it. The only reason why I mentioned it is because it is in Manhasset, right? And so I was there. It's a tea house, right? And so I was like, over there. What was that?
In Manhasset. It's all you had to say was in Manhasset.
Yeah, Manhasset. So all right, yeah. So I go there one day. I'm like, oh, I'm actually in the area. So I was like, let me stop. And I like the tea because they had it in the cafe downstairs where my office was. So I go there. I knock on the door because there's no one there and it's locked. Or I wasn't sure if I was able to walk in. The lady comes from the back and says, "Do you have an appointment?" I'm like, "What? No, I don't have an appointment." So she explains to me that they don't see customers off the street directly. You have to call to let them know that you're coming.
Oh,
they make an appointment.
That's some fancy tea.
Right, but she was very nice. She was very nice. She showed me around the store. I told her because I like to make unsweetened iced tea.
Right.
So she showed me a whole bunch of blends that were specifically made for iced tea, and so I bought a whole bunch. It's excellent, but they have an online shop too if you want to check it out.
I would love to learn more about that because during the summertime, when I work at the post office, I drink a ton of unsweetened iced tea.
They have all different kinds because I'm a fan of white tea. So I just put the link in the chat. But I will also send it to you, Dave. In an email.
That's great.
But yeah, if you like tea that much, Doug, just check it out.
I definitely am going to. Serendipity.
Yeah, because I got a box. I brought it to work, and I gave it to some of my other people because I only drink coffee in the morning. Throughout the day, I like tea.
Oh,
So,
all right.
My problem is I just don't like hot beverages. Like it's difficult, and like I know it's good for you, especially if you got like a sore throat or if you're kind of feeling under the weather. But I just don't like anything that's like, because it's always a matter of like, oh, you make it too hot, or oh, you accidentally make it so that it's it's not hot enough. It's like finding that good balance. And then like if you don't drink it right away, it cools down and it's not as good.
You know, John, that's so picky.
thank you, Doug. Because I
That
was like,
is,
that's not that. Like, if John had said things like, I'm not, I don't like the way the caffeine makes me feel, or I really I'm just not a big fan of coffee, or something like that. Okay, got it.
It's too bitter. It's too bitter,
Right,
maybe.
it's too bitter. But no, because it's too hot or too cold. It's never just right. Oh my
yeah,
God, Goldilocks.
that's yeah, he's definitely freaking gold. I was just thinking the same thing. Like when you said that, this guy is Goldilocks and the three
Uh,
gnomes.
Well, here's a question for you that I've run into that also drives me nuts is I know some of you may not drink soda right now, but
I
when
don't
you
drink
used to
soda at
drink
all.
soda, do you drink it warm or cold, and do you drink it flat? Do you prefer it flat? I've run into people that prefer it flat.
All right. First of all, if you ran into people that preferred flat, run the other direction.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that because at that point they're just drinking syrup.
Yeah, like you're like, what do you want to do? Like, go to the store, buy flavored syrup, and pour it in your mouth. Just like that's gross. I would say that a good cool temperature or cold temperature for a soda would be delightful. A warm soda tends to not be amazing. Um, I mean, it's
Right.
definitely drinkable, but it's not like this is good.
Right.
It's kind of like a beer in that sense, right? Would you drink a warm beer? Like, I mean, some beer is good room temperature, but not all beer.
So I have not been brought up to drink a beer room temperature. However, they're obviously in Europe, that's what they do. So I would
Yeah,
be open to it, right? Soda is not meant to be drank that way.
no, not at all,
Not in
not
my
at all.
opinion.
But
But
but like no, but like the room temperature beers are mostly the darks, like the really
yes,
darks.
you're right. You're right.
Like you're not gonna drink an amber or a pale, like that. I would never drink an amber or a pale. That's just awkward. And like milk is the only thing that I would heat up as its own thing, just to help me sleep if I really wanted to. Right? That's like what people do is they drink hot milk to sleep, or make hot chocolate. Like that's
Oh, so John,
but
so you don't like hot chocolate?
I actually been coming around the hot chocolate, but like, God damn it. Here's the
oh,
problem.
did you say you were coming on to hot chocolate? Did it buy you a drink?
No. The problem I've been finding with hot chocolate is twofold. Is number one, it's got to be like really chocolatey. Like when we got it from that cafe place one time, I thought it was really good. But a lot of the times when I've gotten like the packets like Swiss Miss and stuff like that, I find it difficult making it so it's just like the way that I'd want hot chocolate to be, and not just like chocolate flavored water. Like even when I use milk, I find it could sometimes be a bit thin.
So I don't
So
I don't actually drink hot chocolate from a packet anymore, John. I have a recipe that I found that uses I use almond milk. That uses almond milk and the meltable chocolate. And it only takes about 15 minutes, but you have it for days because it makes 4 cups.
Huh.
It's really good. My daughter likes it because my daughter doesn't like chocolate, but she likes white chocolate. So
so
we make it with white chocolate.
here's a great idea. Here's what you're gonna do, Rich. You're gonna send us all the exact recipe you use, and then next week we're all gonna review it.
Okay, I will. I don't have a problem sending you the recipe.
Because like I have so much hot chocolate mix specifically from Vermont, right? And so like it's like a Vermont, chocolate blend or whatever that's made, and it's pretty good stuff, right? And you make it with regular milk. So I would like to try something that's hot chocolatey, but with almond milk, because it's probably going to be a lot better.
So should we change the name? Get a new graphic? It's over hot chocolate.
Yes, no, or we could just call it over hot beverages, except for John, he's drinking cold ones.
That's such a catchy name. Over hot beverages.
Over hot beverages minus John.
No, oh, that's right. He doesn't want hot either.
John can't find the perfect temperature for his hot.
I'm not against it. I just it's extra work. Like just give me a thing of iced tea.
It's really not extra work. Just go and buy an electric tea kettle and you can make all of your things extremely fast.
I would have to agree with John that it is extra work because.
Oh my god.
Oh my
guys are
god,
so
you're
lazy.
So lazy.
Oh, Rich
I'm
and I
not
are
saying I don't do it. I got a courage.
Rich and I are like
kettle.
transferring. We're transferring our memories to each other right now. It's mind melded.
I just don't. It's so silly.
Anyway, so why don't we talk
Okay,
about?
all right. The games. All right, yes. Let's go back to games.
Well, I kickstarted something this week. If everyone wants to, it's a good one. It's one of my favorites. So it's called Mythic Battles, and this one's a Ragnarok. I told you guys about it last week. It looks amazing. Not even gonna lie, I am so hyped for this game. It's not even funny. It looks I think they just hit $1 million too. Let's see, they're at 1.2. Yeah, they're at 1,023,000.
Wow.
And they have 5.
What is the Mythic Battles system?
So it's basically a skirmish battle game, which is really it's a fun one, right? So you essentially you choose a god miniature to be your general, right?
Right.
And then so like that's your general, right? So in the beginning of the game, you lay out all the gods, and then everyone kind of like goes around the table and chooses which god they want to use, right? In an order. Then you lay out all the monsters and the troop cards and the heroes, and you draft. You like proceed to draft. So it's 2 to 4 players, and you just draft your army.
So who put this out again?
So this is by I think it's Mythic Games, right? Mythic Games did this one. Hold on, Monolith. No, Mythic and Monolith split, so it's Monolith. Sorry.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, really good. The game is, I think it's really solid. You know,
because like I missed you saying that at the beginning, and then listening to it, War Machine popped into mind.
Well,
right.
So War Machine, you don't draft your army though.
No. But the way you were talking about it, it sounded like it was a different variation of like the story and everything of War Machine. You have your god, and you have your army. So
right.
That's what I was thinking.
In this one, it's the gods are like the Nordic gods, right? So in the main box set, you have Freya, Hel, Thor, and Loki as your choices.
Right.
Okay.
And your heroes are like Beowulf, Brunhild, Gullveig, Sigurd, and Lagertha. And then you have like the 4 monsters are Fafnir, Fenrir. You get a Jotun, and then Ahrim. I forget what it's like. The Jotun's like witch doctor or whatever. So like those are like 2 giants essentially. And then you have troop choices of like Berserkers, Vikings, Oathbreakers, which are like undead, Shield Maidens, Ulfenhars, which are like, Berserker Men's, and then Seers, right? So that's pretty cool. There's like 2 double-sided boards, and then there's like some 3D, trees, and there's some cool dice and whatnot. But like the really cool thing about this is you play with the one god, right? And as the god takes damage, they get worse, obviously. And then you use activation cards. And that's that's probably one of the coolest things, I think, is because like in order to like make an action, you have an activation card for that person, for that unit, and you draw it from a deck, right? So it's very much randomized. So you have to really like be tactful about it, and you can only have a certain amount of cards in your hand, and you can only do a certain amount of things per turn. It's like in my opinion, it's a very well balanced game.
Right.
And the coolest part is it works directly in tandem with Mythic Battles Pantheon, where you have all the Greek gods, right? So now you have the Norse and the Greek gods, and then the next one they're going to do, I think, in a couple of years is going to be Egyptians. So it's going to be very interesting once they're all out, and you can fight all.
They're just going to go through each of the pantheons of the Deities and Demigods book, aren't they?
Well, I mean, that wouldn't be, in my opinion, that wouldn't be so bad. If they did the 9 hells, I think that would be super cool.
See, the $25 you spent in 1991 is worth it. You got deities and demigods.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I was very impressed with the system and it's like one of the I think it's one of the pinnacles of skirmish games that people use out of the box. Like that's the thing. When we think of something that's out of the box for 2 players, it's considered a board game rather than like a miniatures war game. You think like Mythic Battles Pantheon. You think that's like one of the new like standards. It's pretty cool.
So I sent you guys the links in an email, and I posted the link for the hot chocolate in the chat for anybody. So you guys have that now.
Cool.
Now the recipe itself calls for regular milk, but I don't drink regular milk, so that's why I started substituting almond milk, and it felt it gave it a good flavor. It's just almond milk. It's just milk, chocolate, and vanilla extract.
Great. All right, listen, we're all going to try it because we all have to now. I'm forcing everyone to do it, including you, John. John, you know what you have to do? You just need to get it to the right temperature.
Hey, John is completely in control of his own drink at this point.
Yeah, yes. You're an adult.
Yeah, don't be bullied by other adults. Oh, I think we. Oh no, I was gonna say I thought we lost John, but
no, I'm here. I was just listening, but deep in thought.
Oh, and also good morning, Erica. Erica joined us in chat.
Hey, all right.
Oh, and Zyno's here too. Does it have caffeine? It does not have caffeine naturally, but most hot chocolates don't, other than the chocolate itself. But it's got a lot of sugar.
Yeah, tons of sugar.
You top it off with mini marshmallows.
I gotta run, so I'll see you guys later.
Okay, but Serendipity, Zynar, they do ship anywhere. They have tea. A lot of their teas are very caffeinated. I don't like decaf teas. It makes no sense.
Yeah, decaf tea doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't exist. Like that's something that shouldn't exist because you have chamomile, right? If you do chamomile tea, it's just naturally decaffeinated. You don't want like a decaf black
right.
tea.
Green tea is also a lot of green teas are naturally too.
Yeah, so it's just
drink that. Don't ruin my tea.
Yeah, just murder tea.
All right, so that's that game. John, what about you? Are you working?
In terms of games and stuff?
Yeah, are you working? You're working, aren't you?
Yeah, just getting a little bit of extra work done. And in hindsight, I realized
John is on vacation. John is on vacation.
Well, I'm getting my work done early, so I have more time during the day to do things. So
wait a minute.
John is literally on vacation, and instead he's doing work now so that he could be on vacation later.
What does that mean? Like, if you're on vacation and you're doing work, are you not on vacation?
That's true.
We were talking about this before the show, about how the thing of it is that there's certain things that I'm responsible for. And the problem is that there's not that many people who can do the things that I do. So if I go on vacation, either I have to find somebody to cover it, which means that I take work away that they could be doing instead, or
But that's the designation of PTO, finding coverage and taking yourself away from something. Like, I get it. Don't get me wrong. Believe me, I cannot step away from my company at all right now. If I take a vacation, I'll be working at night no matter what. Or just choosing not being on any meetings and just doing random work here and there because like people just suck. But like for you, I feel like in your industry, it's a little bit easier to get away now.
Well, so here's the problem is I do a lot of reconciliations. So I do a lot of like proofing and GLs and stuff like that. And the downside is it's not that common of a skill that people can do because it requires a lot of knowledge and stuff like that, you know?
Well, here's my question. How long are you on vacation for?
3 days.
So you're on vacation until Saturday. Are you going back to work Saturday or are you going back to work Monday?
No, I'm not doing any work this weekend.
Okay, so you're on vacation for the rest of the week and you don't have until Monday. So your recon work can't wait until Monday.
It's daily, so I'm actually going to be doing work each day.
And so you got no coverage.
I could have found coverage, but again, it would have taken people away from doing
he's a micromanager.
Yeah, like John, the fact that you had, how long does it take for you to do the recon each day? How long does it take for you to do the recon each day?
The problem is it depends, because ultimately
so just
a lot
an
of the
average.
recon that I do, it's
Just
more
an
so
average.
looking for errors and inconsistencies.
That's fine, but just an average. What's an average time?
Well, I'll give you an example. I'm almost done, and I started when we started filming the show. So
We're filming?
All right.
Nobody told me this.
I didn't know either. Oh man.
You know,
so like I don't know.
Now that Dave's not here, we can actually talk about anything we want.
This is true.
John is no, it's you know, it was like that before, right? You can't even blame that on the pandemic.
No,
because you know you couldn't take vacation before, the fact that we all understand it, and the fact that we all know it, and the fact that we all do it, says that it's not a localized problem.
Yeah, well, for my company, they after 3 years they offer you unlimited PTO, right? So once you hit the 3-year mark, you get unlimited PTO. And the reason they do, and honestly, the reason they do that is they know that no one's going to take full advantage of it because we can't. There are people who, and everyone does take a certain amount of time off every year, but it's just like a normal amount of time. The ability to have just the fact that you have the unlimited is nice because you could take like 4 weeks of vacation and still have time for sick. And still be able to do sick days or like mental health days, as it's called, because our company is just very much mentally draining. But
right.
And a lot of people take advantage of it. We have paternity leave options and stuff like that for males. So that's another thing. We have 3 months paternity leave built into it. So, but the problem is the coverage for certain roles is next to near impossible. And, the amount of work that I do and the amount of clients that I do, it would be very hard for me to find someone to cover me for X period of time. And I plan on taking a 2-week vacation this year. So I have to get my clients to a spot where for 2 weeks, I would trust that someone who's a novice would be able to handle my clients.
So it's what's interesting. Yeah. But what's interesting, one of the, let's see, Zynar said, we just switched to a PTO model and we lost time. That's odd. Usually when companies switch to a PTO model, they usually bump up the number to give some extra sick days in there. Like when we went from our PTO model, they added 8 days to everybody's vacation time, and that would cover everything else.
Yeah, because
So
PTO,
that's kind of odd. It's odd that you would lose time.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Only people that were there for 35 years lost time because they did cap it. Yeah, we have people in our company that were over the 30-year mark. And,
oh God.
And they had summer vacations. And I think the company just needed to cap that. Look, I get that they earned it, but I understand the company side of that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, there are people at my company that bank all their PTO before they go unlimited. And, that's crazy, but they get paid. I think you get paid out the PTO once you go unlimited. I think that's what happens as well.
No, we don't. Let's see. The Midwest is a terrible place to work. Well, let's start with the sentence. The Midwest. You probably could have just ended. No, I'm only kidding.
Who's in the Midwest?
Zynar. Zynar's in the Midwest.
Zynar, I'm planning on moving to Utah, bud. I'm gonna be there too.
Dude, that's not the Midwest. That's kind of like mountain and west.
It's technically the Midwest because it's not the West Coast. It's
mountain.
It's the mountain regions. It's mountain time. Mountain time is Midwest.
So that's not Midwest. Midwest is west, east, and central time. Because Zynar is in Indiana. Indiana is still East Coast time, but it is Midwest. Iowa is Midwest. Missouri is Midwest.
If you draw a line,
Utah is not Midwest.
I'm going to be honest with you. If you draw a line down the center of the country, direct center of the country,
yeah, Utah is. Zynar even said it. Utah is in the west, so call it whatever you want. It's west.
It's the Midwest.
Mountain and West Coast is west.
You know what? You know what? You know what, guys? We're gonna solve this. We're gonna ask Google because Google is God.
Great. Google moogle.
What?
I can't get my Google to respond to that.
Well, because like you're making a voice.
No, but like googly moogly, it won't respond to that. Apparently, you can't change Hey Google or OK Google.
I'm gonna get back to.
Oh my God! Everyone has like a different opinion as to what the Midwest is, and now it's called North Central.
So Midwestern United States, of course, according to Britannica. According to Britannica, the Midwestern comprises of.
No, yeah, it comprises of exactly what you said, right? Those
North
right on the
Dakota,
borderline.
North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan,
Illinois.
Indiana, and Ohio. That is
And
considered the Midwest.
And it's also called North Central.
Well, Britannica defines it as Midwest. That's the Midwest region.
Right. It was officially named the North Central region by the Census Bureau until 1984.
See, then there's what else do they have? They have the
Utah is not West Coast, so that's
no. It's not West Coast. It's just west, southwest. It'd probably be southwest.
It is, yeah. It's so weird. It's like right in the middle between West and some people call the Montana, Wyoming, and Colorado part of the Midwest. The same as Pennsylvania and West Virginia and Kentucky.
So those are considered West. Like even if you think about it from a historical movie perspective, those were always considered West because if you think about it, Wyoming was part of the Wild Wild West, and so was Denver. You know, I mean, even in movies.
Here we go. U.S. map regions. Got it. So Pacific Coast, which is the West Coast, right? Yeah. Washington, Oregon, California.
Mm-hmm.
That's the West. You got the mountains, which is Montana, Idaho, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, and Wyoming.
Right.
You have the Northeast, which is, well, everyone knows what the Northeast is. Southeast, which is, Kentucky down to Florida, all the way to Arkansas. And then the Midwest, you have all the states you named before. And then you have the Southwest, which is Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, and Arizona.
Yep.
And then
that makes sense.
Yeah, and then there's the non-contiguous, right, which is Hawaii and Alaska.
Right. Well, yeah. Yeah, no, that's what makes sense to me. That's why I was like, you're not going to Midwest.
And then there's other maps, right?
So Zyder says basically the states that nobody wants to visit are in the Midwest.
Yeah, realistically, I mean, the only reason I would go to Indiana is for GenCon.
Right.
And plus, actually, that's not even true. My client is Indiana, so I have to travel there regardless.
So I started my current job. My first day on the job was in St. Louis. 2 weeks before I started, my boss calls me and says, "Hey, we're closing the deal with Sarah Lee. Why don't you get a plane?" I'm like, okay. and I was coming off a job there. I didn't have any money like that, so here I am, scrounging up what I could to get a ticket to get out there and be all prepared. And they reimbursed me, of course, but it was just funny.
Yeah, I feel you. I got to do the same thing for mine. I looked at my reimbursement form. So the second that I actually go and visit my clients, because I got all of my clients during the pandemic, so I've yet to actually do an on-site with them. So the second that I go and do like an on-site, there's all these forms and like for the wining and dining aspect. Very excited about that, right? So I got to take them out, show them a good time, all that kind of stuff. So that's my life now. That is my life.
So what I like is what I happen to like about the company is they gave us a card, right? So they give you a list of exactly what you can spend it on, and that's what you do. It's really just for hotels. Meals have to be paid. It's for meals also, but meals have to be paid by the most senior person at the table. That's a company rule. before I knew all this, when I was in St. Louis and we had the first big night out and everybody was there, my boss has them send me the check. What the fuck?
Of course, right? Because it makes sense. Because you
Right.
are.
They were. It was a prank.
Oh.
But it was a good one.
Is that where your whole idea of like everybody takes up one bill, one out came up from?
I don't know.
Like, like when we go to cons, it's like, all right, everybody's gonna like take up the bill one night and like.
Oh, no. The reason why we did that, John, is because. Okay, I understand what you're saying. No, the reason why we did that is because the first time we went, everybody we splitting the bill became such a nightmare. Because everybody was like, well, I didn't get this, or I got this, or I didn't get this, and
It's the worst.
and like we put the alcohol in a separate bill, so I get that. Not everybody drinks, fine, but it was like it just became such a nightmare. Oh, so we said, you know what? Listen, I will pick up. I think I accidentally said I will pick up tonight. Somebody else pick up tomorrow, and then we kind of did that. So that's it. It seemed to work until we got more than 5 people. Yeah. So.
Like, and then the problem is you'd have nights where like it'd be like, okay, it's time for you to pick up the bill, and like I've got 7 people in my dinner party, and then the next night it's like, all right, we've got 3.
Yeah.
Or even better, it's like, okay, like, oh, I'm gonna like the worst is that you'd get people who'd get like 5 different items. Like, not to talk negatively, but some of the people that we go out with, like, they'll do, all right, let's do 3 rounds of appetizers.
Yeah.
Let's do, I'm going to get a salad and dessert and all this stuff.
Well,
and then it's like,
I mean,
well, what do you want to get? I want a cheeseburger.
Well, yeah, but the cheeseburger is just as much as everything else. So let's just throw that out there.
No, not as much as compared to, let's say, ordering 4 different appetizers.
But but you were also there. Like, you were not the victim of that time that we decided to go to the steakhouse when it was Anthony's turn.
To be fair, yes, I was not there for the steakhouse.
But in all fairness, like we did it as a joke, and I actually contributed to. Listen, I get it, John. I don't think everybody's not in the same position. It doesn't really work. The last couple of times, we kind of did our own thing anyway because there's so many of us.
Yeah.
So it was perfectly fine.
When's the next? We should do the. All right. So the next Gen Con, we should all do it again.
Yeah. Well, the next Gen Con is in September, and we are not going.
Wait, no way! They actually made it for the September. It's like actually happening.
Yeah, they moved it to September, but moving it to September doesn't help me at all.
Why?
Why can't I do it, or why did they move it?
No, well, I understand why they moved it, but why can't you guys do it?
Because it changes the whole timing. I mean, Courtney is a teacher.
Right. It's fair enough.
You know what I mean? She can't just disappear for a week. It's not, and she's not like a regular school teacher. If everything is starting to get back to normal, the last thing you want to do is have teachers start taking their time off and going. Plus, there's going to be limited capacity. They're going to limit the number of tickets. They're going to limit the number of people that are in it. It's not going to be the same. Let's give it another year.
Okay.
Give it another year. Let most get to that critical vaccination rate of what 85%.
90, I think it was.
That was 90. Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure on the percent, but let's get to that critical vaccination rate and go back to Gen Con. And then
I'm so pumped.
Right.
I'm so pumped.
Hopefully they'll carry our vendor booth over again. They have our money, right? We paid for it, and last year they called us and asked if they could keep it to carry over, and we said sure. So I'm going to call them and see if they'll carry it over again.
Yeah, you'll have to ask them because they're doing it this year, so they may not.
Well, they may not, but you can't have all those vendors right next to each other anymore either. So you have a smaller vendor room. So this may actually help them.
Really depends, it really depends. I don't know. Well, you never know. They could be like, well, all the regulations are gone. We've hit a good point. Blah blah blah. Lifted September.
I mean, honestly, it depends on, I think, variants.
No.
I know everyone was hopeful. Like,
they changed it. They changed the date from when it originally was, and our company can no longer make that date. If they choose to pull something like that, I will make sure that it gets splattered all over. I mean, really, at this time, you can't just turn around and go, we're going to have our convention, but we're going to move it a month. You have to deal with it. We're taking all your
No, I mean, I'm sure they're not going to do that. Like,
I know they're
if
not going to do
anything,
that.
if you
They'll
can't
refund
make it,
Yeah.
yeah, they'll refund you.
They'll refund it. I mean, listen, Gen Con's been really, really good about it. I mean, they called and asked if people wanted a refund. I think if everybody asked for a refund last year, they may have gone under.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah. Well, but I wonder, like, even if they didn't all ask for a refund last year, you know, like, think about this though. How do they? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because the money's just sitting there. But even so, what happens if half the people did go for that? I don't know. They probably are breaking even right now, honestly.
But that's the whole point. They were always breaking, right? They're not a big. It's not like they're a huge corporation.
No.
But they do have to. But they have yearly salaries. Like there's a group of full-time employees that need to make money, and they made no money last year.
Those poor people.
So, except for whatever they did on Gen Con Online, but who knows how much? Who knows if they broke even or not? So listen, if they were able to keep everybody's money, just hang on to it for a year. Well, more power to them if they were able to make some of the interest work for them.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good if they were able to do that.
So,
I don't know. I'm just really hyped to go back because I haven't been back. I haven't been there since 2017. So I wanna like actually go.
Yeah, but let's let it. Oh, we're over 7 o'clock. We're done.
Yeah.
We're done. All right, everybody. John, you want to take us home?
Oh no! John's not allowed to do this.
No. This is not the opening. This is the end.
So thank everybody so much for watching Over Coffee. Join us on Friday at same time, 6:30. Doug, you've got your show tomorrow, correct? Watching paint dry.
Yeah, we're gonna watch paint dry tomorrow. I'm gonna do another Forge World Demon. We're gonna watch it dry.
Oh. I don't know if Dave has his stream tonight or not. I think he does on Wednesdays.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Yep. So check that out. And yeah, I don't think there's any of the shows this week because it's the off week, and I know we haven't replaced anything with Friday yet. So for now, it's just those two things.
I think Rich
on Friday.
I think Rich, you should just sign on Friday night and stare at the screen for 2 hours.
Maybe I will. Actually, I won't be here. I'm going upstate. To.
Oh, okay. So you won't even be here. Well,
we
it's off week anyway, so this week we'll be fine for that. So
yeah, I'm going upstate to look at a couple more properties.
That's a good idea. What you should do is film the properties.
I'm taking pictures.
That's not a bad idea.
I'm taking pictures, and then I'm going to give all the pictures to my daughter and let her do a TikTok. She does all this editing for the videos that she puts up on TikTok with her iPhone app. So I'm going to let her do all the transitions.
Oh, nice. Tell me what iPhone app she uses for editing, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm using Vegas Studio, and I'd like to do something easy on the go.
All right, I'll find out.
Thanks. All right. Anyway, sorry, John.
That's fine.
Continue the outro.
No, that's it. So thank you everyone so much again for watching, and good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Zainar and Erica. Thank you.